everyone, my name is Chandrima Attri and I have secured rank 72 in Civil Services Examination 2019. A little bit about myself first. I was born in Panipat, Haryana, from where I did my schooling from Bal Vikas School, Panipat. After that, I moved to Delhi for my graduation, wherein I graduated with BSc in Physical Sciences from St. Stephen's College, University of Delhi. After that, I did my law from Faculty of Law, University of Delhi, from where I graduated in 2018. I was simultaneously preparing for civil services, and this was my fourth attempt. In the early attempts, I was not able to manage both law as well as the exam preparation. But after 2018, I gave one full year solely to UPSC preparation, and I could prepare in a better way. And I'm very happy about the results now. About my optional, in my first attempt, I kept law as my optional, in which I gave mains. But because of the lengthy syllabus of law and also a bit of a technical nature of the subject and low scoring potential, which I felt at that time, I was not fully prepared also. I decided to change my optional after my second attempt, and I took up political science and international relations because of its short syllabus, its availability of coaching material in the market, and also its overlap with other GS papers, especially the paper 2 of GS and paper 4, that is ethics. So because of all these reasons, I took up political science and IR, and I also developed an interest in the subject while reading my international relations portions for the GS paper 2. So all these factors culminated in my decision to take up this optional. For this optional preparation, I took up the basic foundation classes, wherein all the topics of this optional were covered holistically. So I had notes regarding all the topics of the subject, and I did not have to go for any other material in the market because I already had the notes. After that, I started reading the topics first, because once you have the knowledge, then you can move on to answer writing. So first try to cover the entire syllabus of the subject. Paper 1 has the Indian and the Western thinkers in paper 1 part A, which also has your Indian nationalism and also your ideologies portion. So that is paper 1 part A. Then paper 1 part 2 is your Indian government section, where you have the constitution, you have the political parties, grassroots movements, the institutions in our country such as Supreme Court, judiciary, the other constitutional institutions. So all those things is the Indian section. In paper 2, you have the part A of paper 2 is your international politics, where you have the comparative politics, you have the theory of international relations, realism, liberalism, you have other key concepts in IR such as power, national interest, your security, and you have other ancillary topics as well, such as global challenges and your history of the international politics, starting from the Treaty of Westphalia, then your world wars, and your this bipolar world order and everything, and goes on to till the present context. The paper 2 part B is your dynamic portion of international relations. Though you have to know the history of India's foreign policy, its relations, its historical relations with other countries, still it's a very dynamic portion, and you need to constantly update your IR part till you give your mains. So this is the a very rough distinction between paper 1 and paper 2 and the different topics in it. So strategy for optional, first of all, I would like you to tell that please go through the syllabus again, because political science syllabus is very concise, crisp, and nothing comes out of the syllabus. Rarely 1 or 2 questions will come out of the syllabus. So stick to the syllabus and make sure that you have the material available for every topic. So you make sure of that. Then after you have the material available, revise those notes. Revise and revise. That is the only mantra for political science, because you have to remember the key terms, the thinkers, the political scholars and their views on certain issues. So what I did for political science was, I made short diary wherein I made crisp notes for every topic. For instance, the topic is, say, Hobbes. So I made on one page Hobbes, and I noted down all the key terms. For instance, Hobbes' main issue was security of life. Then what was his philosophy? Social contract. Then after that you can see what made him to write his own philosophy. That was the beheading of King James. Then you can write what was his other aspects of his philosophy. So for one thinker, one page. Then in the second paper too, again for one topic, one page. For instance, disarmament, nuclear weapons, and for realism, for liberalism. So make notes. Notes will help you in revising at the last moment, because you cannot open your entire notes before the mains examination. So you need to have short notes for every topic. So for that I made notes. And the other thing was, I have completed my optional syllabus before prelims itself. Only the IR part I needed to update after my prelims exam. So that saved me a lot of time after prelims, and I didn't have to juggle a lot of things. I was completely focused, and I was very streamlined after my prelims, so as to what needs to be done now before mains. And I joined a test series beforehand. I was writing political science and IR tests before my prelims till February, March. After March, I completely focused on prelims, but till March I was writing political science tests. So that developed my writing skills. Also after my prelims, I joined a crash course for political science and IR. I wrote tests then, and I attended certain classes also with respect to international relations only. So for that, international relations classes were very helpful, as they updated me with all the new happenings in the world. The other thing is that for political science, for 2 sections you need to read newspapers very carefully. First is paper 1 part 2, which is your Indian government section. Now in that, new developments keep taking place. For instance, when I was preparing, RTI amendment took place. So RTI is a topic, and the Information Commission is a topic in paper 1 part 2. So that you need to cover. Whatever amendments are happening, whatever judgments are being pronounced, you need to be updated with that for the Indian section. And especially also for the international relations section, you need to be updated with the current affairs. For that I referred to newspapers again, Indian Express, wherein many scholars like C. Raja Mohan, they write good articles. So I used to follow those. And I also used to watch RS TV Big Picture, which used to analyze various relations with other countries, along with the India's relationship with them. So that helped me in understanding the world of international relations in a better way, and it provided quality to my answers. So apart from that, the art of answer writing again is very, very important in political science and international relations, because the syllabus is very concise. So every person who has political science and IR will read the same things and will know most of the things that are mentioned in the syllabus, because the syllabus is not that huge. But what makes them different from the other candidates is their writing style. So political science as an optional is a very expressive optional. So if you have good writing skills, you can express in beautiful words, then political science will be very, very scoring for you. So in that regard, I think that keeping political science and IR was a game changer for me, and this was my first mains with political science and IR. And I want to add to this that I did not refer to any standard textbook apart from the coaching notes. So I only read notes of the coaching institute, and I did not read any bulky book for political science and IR. I just supplemented my understanding with the newspapers, with the current affairs, but I did not read any bulky textbook. Though I had read parts of O.P. Gauba, Western political thinkers, apart from that, no book was read by me, but I bought a lot of books. So if you have ample time, and if you are still in the early stages of your preparation, or for instance, if you are in college and you want to read more and understand more, and then read the coaching notes, then it's completely fine, because it will give you more depth, it will give you more understanding. So if you want to read, then there are some good books available. O.P. Gauba is there for Western political thought and Indian political thought. For paper 1 part B, which is the Indian government section, there is a book called Oxford Indian Politics. That is a very good book, but it is very detailed and bulky. So please don't read this book if you have few months left to mains. Then rely only on coaching notes and your own short notes. But if you are 1 or 2 years away from your mains, then you can give this book a read. Other book is Indian Ideologies by Andrew Haywood. So that is again a very good book, and if you want to read that, you can go for it. For paper 2 part A, I had this book called Bayliss and Smith. So I did not read this book completely, but I read certain chapters of this book and I found it very, very good. I read the disarmament chapter, I read the chapter on liberalism, and I read a chapter on terrorism. So these chapters I found very good, but again, while writing answers, I realized that I did not look for any other book because the notes were so holistic and concise that I did not realize that there is any need for any other extra information given in the books. So it is only for your own understanding and for your own depth of knowledge if you really want to go for it. For international relations section, after I did my mains, I had free time, so I read How India Sees the World by Shyam Saran. So that was in my free time. I did not read it before mains. After mains, I read this book and also the Oxford Indian Politics book. But before mains, there was hardly any time. I just relied on notes and my own practice in answer writing. So if you have time, you can go for these books. Nothing harm is there in this. But I would suggest that keep your sources limited and practice more on answer writing and get your answers evaluated by your teacher, because that will help you more. Also in the political science and IR, some people find comparative politics a little bit difficult, but again in that topic also you need not look for any extra source, just see the past year papers, cover all the questions that have been asked in the past years, because past year questions was a very important guide for me before mains. I used to see what kind of questions are being asked, and also writing a lot of tests again helped me a lot. I used to give tests every weekend between prelims and mains, so that improved my answer writing. And apart from that, I think it's a very good optional. If you want to go for political science and IR, then definitely go for it. You learn about so much about your surroundings, about the society we live in, about the concepts that dictate our lives. You understand the government, you understand the state, you understand various philosophers and their thoughts. So the subject was very interesting for me, and I found it very, very good, and I was very satisfied while learning this subject. So this was my strategy for optionals. Thank you so much.